All right, so today we're going to dive deep into the evolution of cryptocurrency. We're going to take a journey starting from the very beginning, breaking down the huge problems the space still faces, and then looking at a vision for the future, one that could literally rebuild the way the internet works. So let's just ask the big question right up front. After 15 years, a whole lot of hype, and trillions of dollars, is crypto basically done? Have we figured it all out? Well, the short answer? Not even close. You see, despite all the progress, there are still these fundamental challenges holding crypto back from really becoming the foundation for, well, everything. To really get where this whole thing is headed, you've got to look back at how we got here. And the best way to think about crypto's history is like a series of generations, where each new wave was born to fix a critical problem that the one before it just couldn't solve. So it all kicked off back in 2009 with Bitcoin. That was generation one, and its big breakthrough was solving decentralized value transfer. No more middlemen, right? Then, fast forward to 2015, and Ethereum shows up. This was generation two, and it added smart contracts, making the blockchain programmable. It was kind of like adding interactive code to a boring static web page. And that brings us to the third generation, starting around 2017, which really zeroed in on the famous blockchain trilemma, that really tough puzzle of making a network secure, decentralized, and super fast all at the same time. Okay, so even with all that incredible progress, we've kind of hit a wall. We're at a final frontier. And there are three huge unsolved problems that are stopping crypto from truly hitting mass adoption and becoming a part of our daily lives. And these are the big three, the real heavy hitters. First, something called rational privacy. How can you be transparent and private at the same time? Second is identity. Who are you in this new digital world if there's no central company to vouch for you? And third, cooperation. How in the world do you launch a new system that's actually fair for everybody and get all these different crypto tribes to play nice together? Let's tackle the first one, privacy. And right away, let's be clear, this isn't about making everything secret and shady. No, it's a much more subtle problem. It's about finding that perfect balance so we can get all the benefits of a public, auditable system without having to broadcast every single transaction and detail of our lives to the entire planet. And this really gets to the heart of the paradox, right? The whole point of a blockchain is that it's transparent, it's auditable. But our actual lives? They're filled with things that need to be private. What you buy on Amazon, your Google search history, your medical records. A system that's only public is incomplete. It's like having yin without the yang. It's only half the picture. So what's the fix? Well, it's this really cool idea called rational privacy. It's the magic of being able to prove something is true without revealing the sensitive data behind it. Think about it like this. You could prove you're over 18 without showing a bouncer your exact birthday and home address. Or you could prove to the government you paid your taxes without showing them every single line item of your income. This is a total game changer. And that idea of privacy flows right into our second huge problem. Identity. Because look, if you build this amazing decentralized world, but then you still need a bank or some big tech company to say, yep, that's really you, what have you actually accomplished? You've just defeated the whole purpose. You've just invited the middlemen, the vampires, right back into the house. And the urgency here is palpable. After all these years of trying to build systems that get rid of centralized control, it would be a huge step backward to just let it all creep back in through the front door of identity. So how do we solve this without the vampires? Well, the solution is a 1-2 punch. First, there's a new standard called decentralized identifiers, or DIDs. Think of it as a universal, self-owned ID for the internet. But here's the crucial part. You pair those DIDs with that rational privacy layer we just talked about. The result? You get a verifiable online identity where you, and only you, control who gets to see what. This brings us to the final, and maybe the trickiest problem of them all, cooperation. And this one isn't just about code, it's about economics, and it's about people. How do you launch a new network that is genuinely fair for everyone, not just the insiders, and actually gets all these different communities to work together? Yeah, for way too long, the crypto space has been dominated by what some people call Ponzonomics. You know the drill. It's the classic venture capital playbook where a tiny group of insiders get tokens for pennies, they hype up the project, and then they sell them to regular folks at the top, leaving everyone else holding the bag. It's just not a fair or sustainable way to build a real community. But a cooperative launch? That's a whole different ballgame. One really interesting model being proposed is this massive 3-step launch. First up, the largest airdrop in history, giving tokens to users across 8 of the biggest blockchain communities out there. Then a 21-day mining period, where the whole community can jump in and scavenge any tokens that weren't claimed. And get this, for the final step, a lost and found built right into the Genesis block, so the original folks can claim their share anytime in the future. The whole point is to get the widest and fairest distribution possible from day one.
Cooperation also means you need a smarter economy. And this is a really clever idea. What if, instead of one token that tries to do everything, you had two? You'd have a public one, let's call it Night, that's deflationary and used for big picture things like governance, kind of like a store of value. And then you'd have a private one, Dust, designed for one thing, predictable pricing for transactions and fees. This is huge for businesses. Imagine trying to run a company when the cost of using the network could jump 10 times overnight. You just can't. This model fixes that.
So here's where it all comes together. When you solve privacy, and you solve identity, and you figure out cooperation, you unlock something way bigger. You make it possible to build a brand new, much smarter layer for the entire internet. They call it the intention layer. So what on earth is an intention? Well, let me give you a super simple analogy. The way we use crypto today is procedural. You have to spell out every single command, step by step, like giving someone turn-by-turn driving directions. But that's not how we live. We use declarative intent. We just state the goal. We say, hey, meet me at Applebee's at 12. We don't list out all the steps, we just say what we want to happen.
And this is where things get really futuristic, especially with AI exploding everywhere. The future is agentic commerce. You won't be scrolling through Google for hours. Instead, you'll just tell your AI agent your intent, something like, find me the absolute best hat for my upcoming jungle trip. Now, for that agent to do a good job, it needs to know a lot about you. But you definitely don't want it broadcasting your private data everywhere. A private intention layer is the missing piece of the puzzle that lets these agents work for us, both effectively and safely.
And that's why all those pieces we talked about, privacy, identity, cooperation, are so absolutely critical. A system built on them becomes the perfect foundation for this AI-powered future. It can execute your intentions fairly without bots seeing your orders and jumping ahead of you to profit, a nasty practice called front-running. It keeps your personal data private, and it can work across any blockchain to find the absolute best result for you. So the big vision here, it's not just about building another blockchain. It's about building a foundational, private, fair layer for the entire internet. One that's designed from the ground up to understand and execute what we and our AI agents actually want to achieve. It's an unbelievably ambitious goal that ties this whole story together. And that leaves us with this one absolutely massive question to chew on. If we can actually build an internet that respects our privacy, gives us control over our own identities, and runs on cooperation instead of extraction, what does that future look like? Could this be the key that finally lets us rewrite our economic and social systems for the better? Now that's a powerful idea to think about.